in last 70 years at least 3 to 4 times, different kind of recessions. So there is a set protocol available with the government to end central banks that when the recession hits, how to react to it. So it is like a flu. If you take in the terms of a virus, then it's a virus which causes a flu. So in flu, you know the disease and you know the cure. You know both the things. Since you know both the things, the protocol is taken out immediately as soon as the recession hit, and the government tries to cure it. And it is cure effect of recession are minimized in the shortest possible time. However, lockdown last happened in 1919. The world is completely different then, and it is different now. Nobody living in living memory has any idea how to deal with the lockdown and shutdowns like the one which we are now saying, where 1/3 of the world population is staying home over a different period of time, over different depending upon the stage in that country is. So, like I compared recession to a flu, shutdown can be compared with corona. The disease is known, but the cure is not known. So shutdown means all three economic activity are shut. Demand, supply, and finance are all under sudden attack, and economic activity is in coma. People are continuously encouraged to stay at home. So when they are encouraged to stay at home, even if the government puts in money in the system, they are not able to spend it, since they just can't come out and have the normal life which we had earlier, where they would go on a party, they would go on a spending spree of lifestyle and everything. So there is no ability to spend. The spending itself is restricted. Simultaneously, because of shutdown, the supply side is also affected by lockdown. We are all aware that we will not get the resources to complete our project in near future, like labor, material. Financial side also comes under complete stress. And then there is a government is constantly under a dilemma. If they give a large stimulus package, then the debt will shoot up and the country's rating will go to result to a junk. And if they do not do so, then economic activity will collapse so much that your debt to GDP would even be worst. So there is no solution which is available with anybody, and hence there are a lot of issues connected with the shutdown and the after effects of the shutdown. There are multiple reports which are coming out that China has bounced back in 70 days. That is absolutely normal. There are no cases left in China. They are rather now reverse checking people entering the China and ensuring that people are kept in isolation for 14 days after they enter the China. But like all other information coming from China, which is misguiding or wrong, this information can also be wrong. We do not know how much Chinese government has pumped in the economy with the financial fiscal packages. We don't know how many COVID patients are actually there today also and what they are doing. So we have no idea. So, and we might end up like Singapore, that today the shutdown is over, but again, after some times, again the shutdown will be required to ensure that the curve remains below manageable affairs. What government has been able to achieve in last 1 month? Superb. They've been able to enhance the facility to isolate people so much that even if there is a spike now, they are able to handle those patients. They are able to handle the patients which are coming out, and they are able to do it. So government has done a wonderful job. This shutdown has helped the government to enhance the medical facility to such a level that more of spike also doesn't means more of life loss. So the normality will remain, will come back, but it will be not previous normals, with all social distancing norms and everything back into the system. So we will have to change the way we do business. So I will come later on that. Now, the priority, we are all believing that the fiscal measures has to come from government. The government must support us completely, and they have to create a lot of fiscal measurements which help us. Let us understand, even today in newspaper I read it, that the priority of government is always workers and daily wage earners. That will take the major financial package, because the population which we have in that category is very high. So unlike other countries where people who have to be supported financially at such a large numbers is not existing. With our size of economy and our size of government funds available, the major chunk of financial package which will go from now onwards also will be always workers and daily wage earners. The next in that priority would be MSMEs, then aviation and hospitality, which are really which will be really on a deathbed, and then the number of real estate will come. And that also, please understand that there are hundreds of industries which are asking support. And every industry is asking support to survive only. Like we are also asking support to survive. They are also asking support to survive. So there are some basic needs of every multiple industries. And from the whatever balance funds government has available, it will have to allocate to various industries. And once it allocates to various industries, the whatever little is left for us and for other industries after taking care of aviation, hospitality, and such other large industries, then those amounts will be made available to us. So we just does not have the resources. So from this, let's be assured that our best chance to recovery is depend on ourselves and nothing else. We have to depend on ourselves, our industry brothers and brothers, by remaining united and helping each other as much as we can in all the way possible. Because this is a crisis. In this crisis, if we do not remain united and work together with each other, the chances of our recovery are very, very low, because there is no outside support is going to come. The support has to come from within yourself, within your company, within your family, and then within from your industry. So let's understand that all of us will have to work together to come out of this problem. We all know that our developer's life is endless with every day multiple challenge. Every day new challenges are faced, being conquered, and next day we are again with the same number of new challenges. So every day we solve the challenge and we come back to the challenge. So we every day end up into a lot of new challenges facing, and every day we have a new battle. We hardly get time to check on our own plans, budgets, and their adherence to within the organization also. We are burning at both the ends. We are like a candle which is being burning at both the ends as a developer. And since last 3 years, of course, we all know that we are running at a great speed. To avoid accident, we must create now is a time to rethink and to create a break from all this. And when we create a break, to check whatever has happened in past and whatever has to be done in the future, update your plans, update your activity schedules and everything. In fact, only those who are able to take breaks in next years to come in this kind of environment, of difficult environment, and analyze their past, adjust their future plans, will survive. I am very clear about it. And I don't see any situation where people can go beyond this. I myself saw this shutdown as an opportunity of that break. I needed to analyze my past, my mistakes, my corrections, and plan for the future. And this time I was never getting. And this break has given me this opportunity. And I request everybody to use this as a break, as an opportunity to really look back, analyze your past, thoroughly analyze your past, plan for your future, and ensure that every screw in the machinery of your organization is getting re-examined and rehold. There is one writer, Stephen Covey. He once said that one must sharpen regularly the saw. If you do not sharpen your saw, first day it will cut, say, 10 trees, second day it will cut 8 trees, and third day it will cut 6 trees, and fourth day it can't cut anything. So you have to sharpen your saw. Your saw is your brain, your organization. So you will have to sharpen it regularly and to remain effective. And this was an opportunity which was to be used and is to be used now that it is extended in MMR up to 17, to sharpen ourselves, to sharpen our organization. We have to be prepared once shutdown is over to push a start button. Start button for company, start button for us, and start button for all of our employees. At this point of time, it is very important that we all take bold steps, and that too immediately and earliest. Any delayed decision, believe me, is going to be punished very heavily by economy. There is no chance for you to really have a laid back attitude which you could afford. Your margins have squeezed a lot. Economy is completely in a competitive mode. Demands are down. The supply side is affected. Financial position is bad. Economy is not going to spare anyone who is not willing to change our mindset and is not able to pick up the signals, howsoever weak they are, very weak signals also. like one bar in a mobile phone. It has to be picked up and analyzed for its effect on the course of our company in future. We know that we are individuals. We can't print money like country can. We rely on NBFCs and banks. NBFCs have nearly collapsed. They are really struggling for the funds. Banks are very of lending to NBFCs also and to real estate sector also. So only way the cash is going to come back to us in our business to survive is sale and recovery of sales. And look at the dichotomy. The sales are going down. Every individual in this country and this world is being told, and in this planet is being told that cash is king. You have to hold on to your cash. Build cash reserve for yourself. Do not put money in any asset or any lifestyle. Just hold on to cash. And at this point of time, we to survive in like the background which I have created for you, that why we need to survive and depend upon cash generation from the sales is because we do not see much coming from the government. We do not see much coming from banks. And then the next stage is then the sales and only sales. So it is a very daunting task to get the cash out of a person's pocket who has been constantly advised by the world and all the pundits of the world that preserve the cash for yourself. So we want that cash to come out of his pocket and come into our business only to survive, not for a profit. So this is very, very important. Simultaneously, I would suggest that while I suggest a lot of measures, we must keep in back of our mind that we have to be part of a national cause and we have to support nation in this fight. And when we are supporting nation in this fight, means protect the jobs of all your employees. We must ensure that we are protecting jobs of all our employees across our board as much as we can. And we are not just reducing the cost by readjusting the employee strength. There are many other ways, we'll come to that, but readjusting the employee strength is the last thing unless your works are just shut down. So we have to be part of the national cause as much as we want ourselves to survive. Simultaneously, it is equally true now that unless we survive, then only the jobs will survive with us. So it is important that we survive as much as the jobs which need to survive. Now, so how do we do that? So it is time to communicate with your employees and other stakeholders, your bankers, your suppliers, your contractors, your everybody you are dealing with. Our vision, and start with a vision first. So you share with your employees your vision of short term, medium term, and long term. What is your vision of the short term would be naturally survival, immediate survival, survival for 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, depending upon where your position is, where the industry overall will go. So it is immediate survival. Medium term vision has to be linked only to execution of existing projects. Or all other medium term visions have to be postponed to long term visions. So short term, I said it should be survival. Medium term visions are all execution related, and long term is growth and all those things. Why also vision you must share. Vision you share so that your employees' morale remain boosted, your bankers' morale remain boosted, your customers' morale remain boosted. So all these visions which you have of short term, medium term, and long term, all this you must share. Share your enthusiasm to face the challenge. Don't get cowed down. You be more enthusiastic and show that to your organization, to your employees, that you are enthusiastic to come out of this. You are confident of coming out of this. Don't even once utter a word that what will happen tomorrow. Whatever happens tomorrow, I will sail through. This is what you need at this hour. You cannot at any point of time lose your own enthusiasm, because if the engine loses the steam, anything behind engines cannot go ahead. So engine has to have a full steam, and this is a time when we need it, that we need the full steam to remain. Share your long-term dreams of the organization with your employees. Now, I will come to next level is vision is fine, short-term, medium-term, long-term vision. The measures you will take to survive. The measures which you have to take. So there are various measures, short-term, medium-term, and long-term measures. So what are the short-term measures? Manage your cash flow, implement cost-cutting measures, and all other similar items. Medium-term measure, like I said, like a vision, measures also have to be execution. And what about long-term measures? Forget about it. We'll think about it after 1.5 years. Just now, no time wasted on all long-term measures at all. Vision, yes. Measures, no. So let's understand that how we deal with each of these measures, short-term, medium-term, in detail now. We will go into, because this is a webinar for our members. This is for how do we survive. So we are going little technical, and we are ensuring that we are advising you technically. These are all guidance principles. There is no fixed medicine. There is no medicine which is available and applicable to all of us. This is completely different. These are only guiding principles which we are giving. And this guiding principles which we are laying down has to modify and has to change, and has to be the doses of it or the quantum of it has to change as per your organization's level where you are. It cannot be applied fully and continuously in a manner it has been spoken. It has to only the principles to be extracted, and the principles have to be implemented in a manner which suits your organization, your balance sheet, your vision, and your type of project which you have. We all know that lockdown is going to create a huge problem. You cannot anticipate these problems. You cannot anticipate this problem because you cannot be directly affected by it. But suppose in one of your projects, 30% of your buyers are from aviation industry. You're going to be affected without you knowing also about it. You will think, what happened? I have just not done anything. I was just strong. So we must understand that we are flying an airplane in a very heavy headwind. So when you are flying an airplane with a very heavy headwind, even if you are cruising at your normal speed, your fuel will be burned double, because even to maintain that normal speed which you fly at, you will have to burn a double the fuel to actually maintain that speed. Otherwise, your speed will slow down. So don't think and don't be lax that I'm very slow, I'm very fine. So why I need to worry? Because you don't know from where what will hit your projects, what will hit your balance sheet. Till date, rental premises, malls, all were considered to be a number one asset for the bankers. Today, with the malls, when it will start, nobody knows. The rental from malls, when it will come, nobody knows. How do we handle the payouts of EMIs, which we have taken on the loans of the rentals coming from it? So all these are completely unanswered questions. So, and please understand, the effect of recession world over has been felt only after 3 months to 9 months to 12 months. So the recession begins at X period, and its effect is felt after 9 months to 12 months. And despair and disbelief starts only after 12 months. So as on today, we are all sitting at home. Everything is shut down. Around us, everything is shut down. So we are not having any idea what is going to hit us, because everything is in a shutdown mode. Since everything is shutdown mode, nothing is moving, nothing is happening. So nobody is calling you, nobody is telling you. So you feel that this, once the start button is pushed, everything will fall in normal, and then I do not worry. Everything like what was happening previous will happen now. Nothing which was happening previously as normally is valid rule for tomorrow. You understand? One simple thing. If you have to maintain the safe distance norm in labor which you are putting into the work site which you are carrying on till yesterday, and if you are employing 4,000 laborers, it will take minimum 1.5 hours or 2 hours to get the last labor in who is standing in the queue for 4,000 number by following the distancing norms. Even at the working side, you have to ensure that there is enough distance between the two laborers unless they pass on everything, pass on the material. So we have to be so careful. In the night, we have to ensure that every labor and every equipment is disinfected. So all these issues which we really need to think about, and how does everything can be addressed to. So that is where the short-term measures come. Short-term measures are just to survive for next 1 year and nothing else. So don't be complacent. Even if your balance sheet is best of the best, still don't be complacent. So first, when we are trying to survive for the 1 year next, what is the item you would touch? Would you touch sales? That how would you enhance sales? Would you touch government fiscal measurements? They are not within your control. How would you touch it? So there is no way you can touch it. So what you can address is only cost, cost, and cost. So short-term measure is only cost-related measures because that is completely under your control, and there are various costs which we incur, and you know the list of the costs we incur. We need to now rationalize every line item of our cost, as no single line item is now a small item for next 1 year. Please believe me, no single item of your expenses is a small item. Every item in your balance sheet is a very, very important item. There is a proverb called penny wise, pound foolish. Means look at the pound, don't look at the penny. I would change that proverb in next 1 year to say every penny saved is a pound saved. It is just even one penny I save, it should look like I've saved a pound. So don't believe in penny wise, pound foolish for next 1 year. So 80-20, 70-30. Yeah, you may prioritize 70-30, that you first concentrate on 30% item and then addressing 70% item. But there is no item in your balance sheet which you would not address. Item of cost in your profit and loss account which you would not address. Then that is short-term measure. Salaries cost, administration cost, marketing cost, construction cost. Construction cost means what? Improve your planning, improve your execution technologies, improve your alternative materials, area calculation methodology, everything. And after all, last and not the least, which every one of us knows, that most of our balance sheet item is expenses, interest, and interest. So interest, and now, thanks to 2012 change in law, the premiums for at least Mumbai region, the premiums are extremely high. So these are the items of the cost which we have to work out. So what I start with, rationalization of salaries. Most of us, when it comes to rationalization of salaries, while talking to people, I realize that most of us have not built organization, but we have built large families at the workplaces. We are partly professional, but largely personal. We have a personal relationship practically with all your top level. Top level has a personal relationship with his next top level and going down, 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 down. So we are all more a social organization doing a business than a professional organization doing a business. Nothing wrong in it. That's how India's virtues are, India's values are. So I'm not saying that this is the right way of doing a business or not the right way of doing business. We are not multinational kind of thing that where we don't care of the other people. We must care and we must love our people. When the time comes when your own survival is in trouble, when your own survival is in trouble, when your own survival is in trouble, 1 minute, follow. When your own survival is in trouble, I'm sorry for this. I'm at home and my granddaughter came in. Anyway, when your own survival is in trouble, we have to take harsh decisions. We are finding it difficult to communicate cost rationalization with our employees. I have faced this. But it's just a issue which we have to address. We'll have to take a lot of harsh decisions. All our decisions in next 1 year are going to be harsh to our employees, to our customers, to our contractors, to our bankers, to everybody we deal with. Harsh means I'm not saying we are trying to dupe them. We are trying to loot. We are trying to make money at their cost. It's only to survive whatever measures you have to take. To the bankers, I'm going to say that I'm going to pay you interest. I'm not saying that I will not pay interest except for the moratorium or whatever it is. To the customer, I'm going to say I'm going to deliver. But this 6 months are lost forever. You will have to communicate because your work is not going to start for next 6 months. Whatever you may say, even if the government allows us to start, where is the labor? Where is labor? Quantity of the labor available? Labor is afraid. It's wanting to just go back home. They will come back. They will come back after a period of time. But that time is lost. Monsoon is just round the corner. Where is the resources available? Everybody's factories were short. So many things have happened. So, and where is the finance available? Banks have always been consistently telling that after the lockdown, they are going to review our project again. And they don't show me your sanction letter and don't ask for disbursement based on sanction letter. You be prepared that we will recalculate disbursements available to you unless you show us the sales. And from where to show the sales, God knows. So all this is to be considered for deciding what this. At the cost of repetition, I'm again and again reiterating that only if the company survives, employees survive. In financial difficulty, don't we tell to our wife and children that please, this year we have to spend less expenses and we have to tighten our belts. Similarly, we have built families around us, which are our employees. So we have to tell all employees and all stakeholders connected with us that every one of you will have to tighten belts. Not only me who has to tighten the belts, the bankers also will have to tighten the belts. The contractors also will have to tighten the belts. Everybody has to be tightened. Next 1 year is difficult. If one has to decide on reducing, now we come to conclusion that we have to decide to reducing overall cost, and salaries is one of the item. If we decide in our organization, depending upon our cash flow, I'm not suggesting that everybody has to do it, but depending on your cash flow, anticipated cash flows, anticipated future expenses and all those things. If you decide to go for a reducing of your salaries or rationalizing your salaries, which I generally avoid word reducing and I call it rationalizing, then whether one should go for cutting the salary or whether we should defer the salaries or we should implement combination of them. There's no fixed formula one should say. We should understand that our margins are under stress. Last 4 years, we have seen our margins coming down to such a level that we are now hardly doing business on 10 to 12% of the overall turnover. Our margins are in such a large, such a stress that it is impossible now to get that margin also in this difficult time next 1 year. I'm saying forget profit, but at least have a cash flow which will allow you to survive. Even this 10% I'm willing to go. And from where those 10% will go? By cutting all expenses, because your cost is going to go up. Your labor cost is going to go up. Your execution cost is going to go up, which is this natural distance. So your interest cost is going to go up because sales is going to be slow. So all this consistent. So all the cost elements which you could control, you have to control. So let me give an example. One of the largest business houses in this country announced salary cut to their employee on the day when they announced that they have a quarterly profit of 10,000 crores. Why did they do that? Why Singapore Airlines benched 33% of their employees on day one of the shutdown? Why MR, one of the largest real estate companies, said that we are cutting across the salaries or we are rationalizing our salaries? Why did they do that? They anticipated a margin squeeze going ahead. They anticipated cash flow squeeze going ahead for next 1 year. When they anticipate these two issues, they go without bothering about the size of the reserve they are carrying. Next day of the business has to be done on the next day of the cost. You don't have to do future business on the basis of the past cost or past incomes you have earned, because margins can get eroded in no time. The reserves can get eroded in no time. Believe me. So next business which you do, next day business which you do, next year business which you do, we have to do on the basis of the anticipated cash flows of those next 1 year, not on the basis of what we have done past. So if a large organization like Singapore Airlines or X or Y or Z, anticipating margin squeeze, anticipating business squeeze, anticipating sales squeeze, go for rationalization of salaries, we also have to go for rationalization of salaries. We have to see in our own business, what is our future cash flow issue in our organization? We must know our balance sheet. We all know it. You know the cash flows which are sure to come. And now, not something which you anticipated. You just cannot now trust what you were trusting earlier, that every month this much sales will happen, because in past it has happened. So what you have created your future budgets is based on being on conservative. Say last year I sold 100 apartments, so this year let me work out on 60 apartments. Please understand the 2 months of your calendar I wiped out. So 60 apartment, 100 apartment divided by 12. So 8 apartments. So 16 apartments are straight away wiped out. Secondly, another 30 to 40 will get wiped out, not because of your product, not because of your location, not because of anything to do with you, not because even the construction which is going on at a full brisk, but because overall in all other sectors of the economy, there is a huge stress. So the people are not able to just generate money to actually buy a product of yours. So when we know that your anticipated sales, which was say you anticipated 60 on a conservative basis, you will have to anticipate now even lower than that. What you have to anticipate, again, that depends on a product, your size, your location, and all those things. I'm just giving a guidance. So considering that, please rationalize your salaries to today's truth, to today's time, and please understand that the benchmark of the salaries in all industries are undergoing to go revision for next 1 year, including our own industry of real estate sector. So we must rationalize our salaries to those new benchmarks. We cannot treat past benchmarks as our benchmarks. Past benchmarks would depend upon past circumstances. Today's benchmark is depending upon today's circumstances. Everyone has to take his own call. And while taking this call, we must also keep in mind that the standards of salary benchmarks, which are there in other economic sectors of this, other sectors, business sectors also, not only in your sector, because then you know that there is a skill set available which is similar to you for other industry at X price. If it is available to you at X price, you should get your salaries rationalized to that X price. Another very easy way I've seen promoters resorting to, on a belief of anticipated recovery is happening very fast. Look, friends, if the recovery happens, we will restore everything as it was previous at drop of the hat. We are not the people here who would want to take away money at our home at the cost of our employees or at the cost of our contractors. We are the people who want to see that everybody makes their own income and their own level of margins, which they must get out of us. But today, since we are getting squeezed, we are asking everybody to get rationalized. So when we are rationalizing them, another thing which I have found, everybody is saying, please defer the salaries. So I am just saying that, okay, look, I'm just deferring your quota. I'm not cutting your salaries. When you do this, you are building further liabilities for you. You are building future liability for you. It is not time. Next year is not a time to create any future liabilities. No further liabilities to be created. We are indulging in exercise of rationalizing our cost. We are not indulging in exercise of, while rationalizing the cost, indulging into building up future liabilities. It is not. It is also, if the situation does not improve afterwards, say it does not improve after 3 months, 6 months, or 9 months, you say that I will postpone it. Then what you will do? You will have more trouble because you have never prepared your employee, contractor, or anybody for the squeeze which he has to behave. You have told him that, look, you tighten your belt for 6 months or 9 months, and at the 9 months, I will release everything what you have. So he has tightened it, but not, he has just temporarily tightened himself. He has not rationalized his own expenses at his own house. He has not rationalized his own lifestyle. Because he thinks that he'll get back whatever he lost. And if you don't meet him at that point of time, you are in trouble. Your employee is in trouble, you are in trouble. It is better to face trouble now than to face trouble tomorrow. Please understand that even if industry recovers, you might not recover. Your site is bad, location is bad. Like I said, unfortunately, 40% of your buyers were from hospitality and aviation. So everybody else has recovered, but your stall not recovered because you have a huge backlog of recovery outstanding and you are not able to sell those flats. So if this is the situation, industry recovers, you don't recover, and you don't fulfill the promise of deferment which you have promised, it will be such a bad example. Because today everybody is willing to accept, you cut across all your sections, everybody is willing to accept rationalization of their salaries because everybody is in trouble, everybody is at home. But tomorrow, when everybody is doing well, like China, we might recover in 90 days. Then my lecture is, you just shorten the period from 1 year to 90 days. That's how it is. So whatever it is. So we might recover at any point of time. But at that point of time, you are not able to recover because you are not aware that 40% of your buyers were from industries which have sunk. So at that point of time, you will be in trouble. So I am requesting, don't build expectation to retain people on a false promise. You can defer it if you are assured of a cash flow coming from after 9 months, in spite of this difficult situation. You can also merge both the ideas, rationalizing salary at some point, and deferring to some point. And we have to recalibrate all our salary package in a manner that there is a minimum cash flow outflow every month. Previously also, just a few minutes back, I said that when we recalibrate our salaries or we recalibrate our cash outflow on this side, we should not reduce the number of employees. Because please understand that there are very few alternatives available to your employees to get absorbed in any other economic sector. See, before 2 years, any employee could go anywhere. There were various alternatives available. So there was not much shock. He would get employed if he was a capable person, even if you have said that please leave my organization because I can't afford you. Today, those alternatives are not available. So please understand that we should not indulge in reducing the number of people to reduce the cash outflow, but only to recalibrate our salaries, to rationalize our salaries. We want to support the nation's fight against COVID and ensure that we protect all our jobs which are waiting for us. So please reduce your monthly cash outflow on this account. While you are rationalizing the salaries, you can consider that you enhance variable pay linked with individual performance, linked with company performance, linked with company cash flow performance for next 1 year. So each of this can be used in combination or individually to actually compensate him for whatever you are rationalizing. So while you are rationalizing, you are also making every individual of your organization responsible to come out of this difficult time. So it is not you sitting at the top who is really working, only thinking that how to come out of this situation. You have to create now army of people under you so to come out of this situation. No battle can be won by fighting us by a single warrior. It's not this is not a movie Rambo when one person can handle 100 army people. There's no possibility. You have to have an army unit facing army unit. So every individual of your organization has to be a part of a unit of your army, which is thinking of rationalizing the cost, enhancing the sales, surviving for 1 year. And this has to be 100% achieved. At this juncture, I'm again saying, don't make promises which you can't fulfill. Do not postpone your today's liabilities as commitment for tomorrow. Just work to reduce those liabilities. And another issue, we sometimes easily tell people, this variable, you will get 30% variable pay, you will get 20% variable pay linked to your performance. And we have no measurements put in place to measure their performance. And then it is at the end of the year, back of our mind and HR's mind, we decide what performance is to be given. This builds a lot of resentment in the organization. Everybody feels that I have worked much more than other and I have got less. This is a standard thought process across all the employees that somebody else has got because his face or he's muskafaring the HR guy or a boss or whatever it is. Please understand that while you are enhancing variable pays, also enhance your systems of measuring those parameters based on which you are giving the variance pay. When you are giving such kind of variance pays on the basis of measurements, then those measurements also have to be 60 to 65% objective and only 30 to 35% subjective. Then only there will be no resentment across this. Another most important fear which we all have while rationalizing the salary is that we will lose the employee. If I cut his pay or I rationalize his pay, or I defer his pay, I will lose the employee. This is making us so much afraid. Why? Best companies in the world lose their CEOs. They just resign, saying that I have better opportunities and go. CEO of the companies resign, and they accept the resignation without fear. And we are afraid to lose even one person who is key to us. Why? We are CEOs still, because we have never created processes and systems in our organization. Individuals do make a difference. Yes, quality of individual makes a lot of difference in the output which give. So individuals do make a difference. So individuals are important. Individuals can't be done away with. But there is nobody important than the processes and systems. So whenever an individual goes, another individual who comes through those processes and systems reaches that level where the previous employees are gone. And once you build this kind of processes and systems, it helps everybody in the organization to upgrade their skills, to replace somebody, and your organization will become independent of an individual. I am not undermining the quality of individual. A person who is too good will deliver 10 times more than a person who is okay. That does not mean, but that person becomes indispensable in your organization. So please understand that do not ever fear person losing. I'll touch that topic 1 minute later, because while I'm here, there is another fear which is very important in our mind, is somebody else will take away the employee whom I have trained and rationalized for so long. So as a unity of our builders fraternity in this time of at least next one difficult year, it is time to introspect on all our past recruitment which we have poached from other developers at enhanced salaries. While we have poached other employee of the other developer on a hope of getting the better quality or better trained person in our hand, we have not only raised that person's salary, but we raised the salaries of everybody else existing in our company to match that person whom we have poached. So we have overall increased our expenses on this head without increasing the efficiency and the productivity of the organization. Please understand. Hello? Anything? Sorry. So please stop poaching people as of this. We can definitely, what I'm saying is, overall, please understand that the real estate sector is paying higher salaries than other sectors for the same quality and the skill set. This I can say you based on various studies which have been conducted in the past, that we are definitely paying much higher because we have indulged in poaching instead of creating systems and processes and training our own people to reach that level or with us. But we have poached directly in a hope to speed up our productivity and efficiency. So this has definitely hurt us a lot, and the remuneration across the industry benchmark has gone up. So when it has gone up so much, it is time to rationalize it. So we also should decide that we should not poach at this juncture from other companies on other companies. That does not mean I am not saying that don't recruit somebody from other company. You can, but don't recruit only on the ground of better pay. Don't recruit. If he is coming for a better environment, for better working conditions, for better organization, whatever it is, I'm not saying don't get other employees from other organizations. Don't poach him on only one ground, and that is better pay. If he's leaving for better pay, don't poach him. If he's leaving for every other reasons, then yes, you should consider that employee coming to your organization. That takes me to the next issue. While I say that don't poach, I also must say that don't hold on with your employees. It is equally important for you to allow every employee of yours to grow in his life. Don't hold on to him. If he gets a better opportunity anywhere in the organization or other organization, you encourage him. If you can't afford him, allow him to go where he can be afforded to his skill set. So please don't hold on to anybody. I have not seen any organization getting wound up or getting liquidated because an important employee left. The organization's responsibility to all stakeholder is only yours at the board of directors level or proprietor levels or partners level. It is not at an employee level. So don't make any employee suffer by holding on to him. If he gets better opportunity, as much as when I say that don't poach, as much as equally it is important that you also don't hold on. And another point which we must understand, that if an employee says he wants to go, understand reasons. I have never seen in all the life which I have till now that an employee generally changes the organization for better pay. Means the pay scale is what, if you see what does an employee want from an organization, the pay scale is one of the last items. Everything else is above. So if an employee wants to leave and you want to retain him, you retain him by changing his working environment, changing the organization working environment, changing everything connected with your organization, which will allow you to retain that employee. If you retain him only by enhancing his pay, believe me, friends, you will not be able to retain him any which way, because at every level of the pay, you will get a better offer. And at some point of time, you can't meet the offer which he's going to get. So anyway, he's going to lose it. So if he's leaving your organization for only enhanced pay, then that is a right person to leave and not to hold on. Because anyway, he's not loyal to your organization. He's not loyal to your culture, not loyal to your growth, not loyal to your beliefs and visions. So please, this has to be kept in mind, that don't, as much as we, as an industry, we should not poach. As an industry, we should also not hold on. Create processes and systems. Create a manner in which the next in line is always lady with that processes and system in place to take place of that person. That is how everybody grows in organization. So we must build in a system where there is always a next in line to a key person who is able to take up when that key person, to enhance his lifestyle, is getting much better offer than you can afford. So please allow him to go, but create processes and systems and next in line, which allows you to operate seamlessly and nobody becomes indispensable, including yourself. So please do that. Rationalization, this has been given in great detail by me on the salaries. The same principle applies to all items of administrative cost, all items of administrative heads of the cost which you have in your organization. Next item which you have to rationalize is marketing cost and selling cost. When you rationalize marketing cost and selling cost, we know that next 1 year, we will need channel partners much more than ever to bring a customer in a social distancing norm, in a norm where everybody has to remain home if they have even 1 minute spare. Also, this 1.5 months or 2 months of staying in home has made people realize that staying in home is much better than partying outside. It is much better life. Partying should be limited and staying at home should be more. So this is what I feel. This is my personal belief, but whatever it is. So what I feel is that we need channel partners to bring customers to the site. But please keep in mind, while employing channel partners, that your margins have shrunk to a level where it is hardly any margin. Your costs have to be, whatever you may try, the rationalization of cost has a limit and your margin has shrunk. Your interest is going to go up. So in that scenario, don't start giving that kind of percentages or offering those kind of incentives, which kills you. Everybody's project is different. So I'm not defining what margin, what percentage, 2%, 5%, 9%, 10%, 7%. I'm not on that. But what I'm trying to make you understand is that your margins overall are so low that please understand that your attitude towards channel partner is to extract maximum out of him, but share his cost so much that he remains reasonable to you and you are able to take his high cost into your low cost organization. This will help all of you, which is better. Whatever is reasonable for your project, that you pay. Whatever is reasonable for your area, that you pay. I am not defining those. But simultaneously, don't understand, you are paying him gross on a revenue share. And when you are paying a revenue share, 5% is not 5%. 5%, depending upon your sale price, is actually 15% to 30% of your profit. That means when you are giving certain numbers to your channel partners, you are actually making him a partner in your project without taking any risk. So you please understand that percentage of the gross revenue converted into profits is very high. So be careful about this aspect of your business. We should also ensure that all the payments to all the consultants are also rationalized. जल्दी काम कराने के लिए और मेरा काम पहले हुए, इसके लिए हमने कंसल्टेंट्स को सबको काफी फीस बढ़ा के या फीस एक्स्ट्रा फीस हमने दे दी है. I am not saying they are unjustified in whatever they are getting today, but like you are compromising on your business, they will also have to compromise in their business to support your survival and to support his own survival also. So it is not that consultants are also to be free, all out-of-pocket expenses, all consultants, everything connected with that has to be rationalized. We as an industry, I will come to that little later because I'm on a cost item, we have to come together to rationalize all this cost. All costs have gone up in last few years very high, and we have to bring it down to this. Now comes the medium-term measures. Medium-term measures are execution, execution, execution. Forget about new projects. Forget about anything starting new. Whatever is on line as on today, that has to be executed. And how that can be executed? Now, in this difficult time, whatever way you must be executing, follow these guiding principles. I'm very clear it will sail you through. Is plan the entire project in great details as has been never done before. Like I said earlier, the cost items, every item of your cost in your balance sheet is important. Every screw going in a project is now important, has to be planned, has to be planned well in advance. We should prepare activity charts, and this activity chart has to be in our business, unlike manufacturing business, has to be three kind of activity chart. Activity chart of approvals, activity chart of construction, and activity chart of sales. All these activity charts have to be prepared, which can be monitored based on scale of your company, monthly, weekly, fortnightly. You have to please understand that anything which is monitored and measured is only delivered. Anything which is not monitored and measured is never delivered. So you must have, and how would you monitor and measure to get a delivery? Is to create plans, is to create entire detailed activity plans. This is how Koreans work. This is how Americans work. This is how rockets get launched. This is how NASA works. This is how our own space agencies work. The minutest of the screw is planned well in advance before even the work starts. And my favorite example for this is Empire State Building, because we are in civil lines. It got built in 14 months, but it was on paper, completely executed and planned for 36 months. Then only, and when it was built, to come out of the Great Depression. So in a depression, this is a classic example that in a depression, if you want to come out, you have to plan for 36 months to execute in 14 months. Because if you don't plan for 36 months, you will execute for 36 months and plan for 1 month. And that cost will kill you, forever kill you. So please ensure that you plan for 36 months and execute for 14 months. I'm not saying in next 1 year you spend whole year in planning. Speed up your planning. speed up everything which is done, required to be done. So when you speed up your planning, every minuscule activities have to be planned. What we used to work in past change. Normal of the past is dead. The new is the world. Every screw of the machine will have to be checked and rechecked at every interval. It is not that I've planned it and left it. It has to be rechecked and recalibrated. Every screw at every interval. To do successful with less margin in depression time, it is always important to create a plans, activity charts, which can allow you to monitor and measure progress as per plan. And if you cannot achieve this, then the chances of your survival are very, very, very less. Once you have planned all these three activities, that is activity chart of approval, activity chart of construction, activity chart of sales, then you integrate all these three activities into a budget. And when you prepare the budget of the project, then prepare the budget of the company. We all will face a huge cash flow issue since sales will be slow. Recovery is of the already sold material is going to be slow. Problem with us is, and problem with we all entrepreneurs, that we think that we know across the company every item of our expenses, every item of cash flow, and it is back of my hand, and it is back of my head or back of my hand. I always believe on this. Just don't want to put this on paper and challenge all your calculations which are on the back of your hand and back of your head. We just don't want to do it. I mean, everybody, including me, have this kind of tendencies. But once you put the budget of cash flows and budget of profitability and all these activities integrated with the sales integrated, you will find huge gaps which you had never anticipated. You had thought that I need 5 crores per this site per month. So you had taken 5 crore idhar se aa jayega, 5 crore idhar se aa jayega. You have never anticipated in depression that there are 3 more items of expenses which I never anticipated unless I plan the chart, I plan the activity chart, and I put it on record. And I create that chart, I integrate it, and I share that chart with every person who is responsible for delivery of that chart. Not your head, because you can't share what is on the back of your hand or back of your head. You can't share that. You have to share this activity, budget, chart, everything with everybody in your organization who has to deliver it. We have to understand that unless we put this in paper, we will realize most common thing is we are all saying to continuously to government that reduce the premium, reduce the premium, reduce the premium. Why we are saying this? Because we see that there are profits eroding. There is no margin in it. Okay, understood. That means we either took a project with keeping those FSI in mind and a profit out of those FSI. Hello? Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, Vimala, you're audible. You're audible.
Okay. So we have taken those FSI and everything, keeping that thing in mind, the premium FSI, TDR and everything. Now you are in trouble because you are not able to afford doing this. And this is what is the biggest problem. Please understand, in majority of the problem, if you prepare the cash flow, you will not consume full FSI available on the site. You will not spend money on buying those FSIs because you pay the money today and you recover in this difficult time after 4 years, and that cost jumps to twice or thrice, which you have not anticipated. So when you put all these figures in mind and you put this on the paper, you will realize it is not important to consume full FSI. In today's time, it is important to deliver whatever is constructing, to deliver whatever is promised, to repay the loans, and the FSI will see later on. If I can't construct later on, I have too many lives ahead for the organization to survive. So if you really put this exercise on things, your decision to purchase premium and TDR FSI itself will be challenged. And that will really save you a lot of efforts. I'm telling you, boss, believe me, that your number of units to be sold will come down. Your number of units to be sold will come down. Your number of execution challenges will come down, and you will be able to complete the project, meet the cash flow liabilities. Profits we'll see tomorrow. like Jackie Chan, somebody sent yesterday WhatsApp, that now the plan is to survive. Profits we'll see later on. Benefits we'll see later on. So this is exactly what I'm saying, that you cannot. Next issue is, everybody is asking questions since yesterday. कल से काम चालू कर सकता है क्या? कल से चालू कर सकता है क्या? हो जाएगा तो कर लूं चालू. Boss, have you put plans in place first? Like I've discussed. Have you really analyzed what is required for next 3 months or 6 months to sustain? See, today everybody is shut. So your site remaining shut for next 20 days or 30 days, nobody is going to question your closed site. But what about you started in a hurry to announce to the world that I have started. See, it opened and I have started. Come and buy flat from me. Believe me, today nobody is going to come and buy the flat because you have started on the first day. Nobody is going to buy and come and buy because you have started on the first day. You must understand that you cannot commence construction now in hurry. You are starting after a shutdown, not after a Diwali holiday. It is not a Diwali holiday that you had all known that these 6 days workers are not there. It's a shutdown where all your supply lines are completely blocked. All your finance lines are completely blocked. Everything is blocked. And you are wanting to start tomorrow without creating all this, what I've said earlier. Please create them. Use this 15 days or 20 days to create that. Put your organization on that. Combine it. Check your cash flows available on the worst case scenarios. And then decide which site to site, and within that site, which activity to site, which will generate cash flow in next 1 year. Not which will prove you to be king in business, which will generate cash flow in next year. So within site also, you will have to decide which activity has to start, not only which site has to start, because your cash flows are going to be little. Even if your banker today promises you that I will disburse all money, take that promise with pinch of salt and ensure that even if he does not support you for 1 or 2 months, he will then give you. Because no banker is going to tell that he's in financial difficulty. He's going to find problem with your project to tell you that he can't disburse with you. If the government goes on deferring banks' installments, recovery of the moratorium to the bank's installment, which is a must today, and the government is not going to support it. 30 countries in the world have paid salaries, reimbursed salaries which are payable to the employees, to every organization in that country. Not small, not large, every organization. They've got reimbursement of the salaries so that the banking channels work. Our government can't afford this. We expect this. We accept this. So we have said to the banks, enhance my credit limit so that I can pay to those expenses. But enhanced credit limit means building up future liability with interest. That is why it is important that while you have an enhanced credit to recover yourself in next 1 year, to ensure that you survive in next 1 year, please do not put yourself in a level that after 1 year, all decisions which you have taken today, all borrowing which you have taken today, also becomes a burden on you at the end of 1 year. Please, that is why all things which you have done has to be well planned, well discussed. All budgets have to be in place, and then depending upon how you organize your future, entire resource chain, the labor, the material, the money, the machinery, skills, supervisor, all those things has to be organized in a proper manner before you get started. If you start in a hurry, it would be disastrous. Again, the same example which I gave earlier. If you start today when everybody is stopped and stop when everybody started, you are in much worse position than you are in today. So please understand that you cannot start in hurry. Even if the government announces to start in hurry, don't hurry. If you have all this in place, start from tomorrow. But if you don't have all this in place and a plan for next 1 year to take care of which area of the building to be started, which portion of the building to be started, and which project to be started, depending upon the stress cash flows which you have, then start the work. Along with arranging all the resources. Also understand that when resources are not available, though money is available, so which area of the activity we should need to start with the limited resources. So all this has to be put on paper, involve your staff, make them work together and ensure that you are starting. So please, starting is very easy. Maintaining the start in this difficult time and in this recession or shutdown is very going to be difficult, because we don't know how many people are going to lose the job, how many businesses are going to shut down, what cascading effect it will have till everything is shut down. That is, we are not aware what is shut down, what is going to shut down, what is going to close down, what is going to lose, who is going to lose, because everything is status quo. But when status quo vanishes, shutdowns will happen and the close downs will happen. The largest restaurant chain, one of the largest restaurant chain, yesterday announced they are shutting down 90% of their outlets. How many jobs will be lost? How many business will be lost? How many people who are supplying them tea, coffee, food, all those will get lost, and the cascading effect it has. All this cascading effect will come to your knowledge after, like I said, recession gets into your head only after 9 months. Till that time, you are in a denial mode, an optimistic mode. So please get prepared for yourself and then start project. Starting late in today's time, nobody is going to question you. But starting and stopping is going to create a problem. So please ensure that everything is in place, every screw is in place before you start. Now, important thing is determining the priority of the cash outflow. Whatever money comes, where it should go. We used to believe, and we have been believing, that the first bank's interest and bank's monies should go first. Because if we do not do this, we are in trouble. So we put project as last. First, we put bank interest. Second, we put salaries. And third, we put project execution. In this 1 year, I'm sorry to say, but the fact is, I strongly believe, unless, again, this all depends upon the type of balance sheet you have. I'm not trying to say that this has to be followed. If your cash flows do not permit, don't hesitate to reverse this order. That's all what I'm trying to say. If your balance sheet permits, follow whatever it allows. But if your balance sheets and cash flows don't permit, then the first money has to go in execution. Because unless the execution happens, there is no possibility of sales coming in. Because like I told earlier, that the money is coming from fiscal financial packages and from the banks looks difficult. So when that looks difficult, whatever brings mullah in is the most important person. So that activity is sales. So whatever sales happens, you please ensure that the first money of the sales goes to production, salaries, and banks. You must renegotiate with your bank. Straightway talk with the bank. And here I will urge association to take the lead, that we must talk with all the bankers and make them understand that you may recover in short term, but if this situation lasts, then after 1 year, we are all in despair. So please let us work as an industry and as an individual with the banking industry to make them understand, to recalibrate or rearrange their payment schedule in a manner that they earn interest from us. So they are also doing business with us. They have not done any favor to us. Please believe me that they have also earned income. And rather last 3 years, I have seen only financial institutions making more money and then any other industry. So they've made more money in last 3 years. So let them compromise on their money now, which they earned. So let them also share our compromise and let them come back to a level where they earn money out of us for the period they defer. They take interest from us. I am not saying don't pay them interest. But I am saying that the cash flow has to go in project as anyhow now in next 1 year, because the cash flows are going to be very less. So please understand that we have to ensure that the cash flow goes in construction, salaries, and then banks, and we must rearrange. Frankly, talk with all the bankers that look, my business plan shows me this. Go today before default. Or even if you have defaulted, go today, openly, transparently. This is what my cash flow shows. And this is the problem. I don't want to become a bad asset for you. This is my asset. And if things improve after 1 year, I will be able to pay you like this. So in this situation, I request you to support me for 1 year. Whatever you have to provide in your books because of my becoming an NPA, because RBI has not given guidance, that is fine. Because if I survive for this 1 year, if you declare me NPA, I won't survive. If I don't survive for this 1 year, then anyway your monies are going to come. And we all know what has happened in IBC. Every penny which the bank has put in IBC, the jobs are lost and they've been able to recover only 22 paise. Here I am saying, I will pay you full money, I will pay you full interest, I will pay you everything, but you support me with cash flow. Allow the cash flow to go on the project. That if they agree, they may be in problem. I am agreeing. Everybody is in problem. I am in problem. They are in problem. But we both are not in a situation where we can fight with each other, but we both should sail together. And my money can come only if I complete the project, and your money will come only if I complete the project. So this is where we have to talk to the bankers. Association should take lead. The group, as a group, we should take lead, and we should come to this. We have united as of now. I am telling you, I have seen the unity which I have never seen in past. We have all united together because it's a desperate time and it calls for desperate measure. We should all understand that to get through this tough time, each one of us has to work hand in hand, each one of us. We should stop being competitors to each other. Like I said, it is not time to take new projects. So where is the competition between us? It is a time to survive next 1 year. So we should forget competition between us, but we should start supporting each other, trust each other as a community. This is time to come together. Over past 1 year, I've seen that spate of JVs, JDs, DM deals have happened. It's a very good thing to happen. The developer who has a land bank and has a liquidity issue joins hand with a developer who is able to arrange the liquidity. What's wrong with that? So let that process be on. Let cooperation be on. Okay, so we have to ensure that this land parcels and liquidity issues are merged with people who have no liquidity issue. But during these tough times, I'm saying this, there is a high possibility that your lender may try to replace a developer, may try to force a deal on a defaulting developer, may try to forge an alliance with a defaulting developer. This is a time, friends, we both all have to stand together, persons with liquidity and persons without liquidity. Anyway, without liquidity, so much business opportunity is available to the person with liquidity. Why he should to take up a project without any consent of a defaulting developer? Let's work together with a defaulting developer and let's take up a project to logical and to support each other in JD, JV, DMs, or by yourself to ensure that the customers get delivery, the bankers get repaid fully, and the industry as a whole survives as one unit. So that is very important. Another thing which is important is that please share experiences. I'm not asking you to share any informations. No. But sharing experiences in this tough time is very important. Share your best practices. Share MIS. Share knowledge. I'm sharing my knowledge with you just now. So please share. Sharing knowledge, sharing experiences actually enhances your knowledge, actually enhances your thought process, actually enhances product profitability and productivity of your organization. Please understand that it helps a lot. So share your experiences. Don't share your information. That's perfectly all right. Share your experiences. We have to come out of all this, and all of us together should come out. Not that I am coming out at the expense of Y or Z, because I said next 1 year is not time to compete. It's time to complement. Next 1 year is time for everybody of us to survive. Don't be in a fool's paradise that if two people don't survive, that business will come to me. Nothing is going to come to you because you will yourself be not in a position to manage your business with your limited cash flow. So let's complement each other. Let's share the experiences. Let's share our systems and let's everything grow. Please understand, this is the last. Real estate in our country from the time of Ram is an emotional need. Just as a person is expected to marry someday, he is expected to own a house someday. And with 130 crore population, where person is going to own a house, he'll need to come to you. So from Indian, owning a house and office is an emotional requirement and not an investment decision. When it is so much, so we will bounce back. The real estate sector will bounce back. We have to sail through in this 1 year, and we have done business in past on basis of our own belief and controlling everything. We have done in business in past that we control every aspect of the business. Please understand that we control no aspect of the business. We need to create an army of the people working with us as an army unit to control the business of ours and to sail us through us. No ship can be run only by a captain. The ship is running because of the smallest sailor to a captain is performing his duty as per the pre-laid down plans and processes and systems. That is why ship is sailing. And if there is one mistake by a captain, Titanic happens. But if you have built up systems and processes and put everybody in charge of it, then Titanic can never happen, because somebody will point out to captain, okay, Titanic is going to happen. There is a iceberg there. So please, there is a huge difference between being a business owner and a self-employed. If a majority of activity in your organization is being done by you in your brain and with no written action plan for each employee of organization to work on, then you are just a self-employed and not a business owner. With these words, I end this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vimal Bhai. To capture all that in 1.5 hours is amazing. I now call upon Nayan Bhai, our president, to take and say a few words.
You know, once Vimal speaks, no, thereafter there is hardly anything left to tell anybody. But I'll share from my own personal experience in the last 35 days. What is it that I am doing? And a few more micro things on and building upon what Vimal Bhai has said. First thing that comes to my mind is keep your mind cool, calm, fresh. Whatever meditation you want to do, whatever you are used to, please start doing it. Because you cannot allow your mind to be filled with fear, anxiety, और अनसर्टेनिटी. देखिए, जो होने वाला है वो तो होने ही वाला है, बट हमारा जो चित्त है वो साफ सुथरा रहना चाहिए. So if somebody, so many people know about it, if somebody were to, ask me कि कैसे चल रहा है, तो मफतराज जी lot of times है, मेरा सर बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है, मन साफ है, तकलीफ जितनी भी है वो रहने दो, पर मेरा मन साफ है, मेरा चित्त साफ है. ये सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है. So the next point is that we as an industry needs to be united. Or I will say this, very openly, NAREDCO or the builders, the Borivali Developers Association or the Central Welfare Developers Association or CRIDAI National, all of us need to come together. On two issues, we need to come together. Number one, what are the goals that we want to achieve from the central government? That we have other day finalized that what are the goals that we want to achieve from the central government. And all of us, no matter where we are, we should be speaking the same language, we should be asking the same thing. We have divided those measures into supply side issues, that is where the cost of doing business, the viability of business will improve at the center level, at the state level. So that is one bucket. The second bucket is where we get the demand improved, so that people will get boosted to buy. So it is extremely important that we come together. Now, coming together with the state government is one thing. There are three other areas in which we come together. We can do great change. Number one is the cost of interest. You will not believe that on 29th or 30th April, I wrote to two institutions, what is going to be your home loan rate? State Bank is giving a home loan at 7.25, 7.35. What are you going to give me? Both the top institutions with which we have like almost 60-70% share, none of them have replied. In fact, one said it is 8.10%. I think the time has come to go and talk to those heads. We need to make groups and go and talk to them very clearly. Ke, sir, you need to give 0.5% across the board. You forget for the next 6 months. If our employees are getting maximum 60,000, 70,000 rupees salary, then you need to do something about it. So, cost of interest for our home loan persons. Second is the cost of interest for the borrowing that we are doing today. Most of us, rather all of us, are solvent. Our only issue today is cash flow and survival for the 12 to 18 months. I don't want to name the institution. I wrote to that institution that I want 3 months moratorium. The reply came to me that your EMI is getting due on 1st of June. So I will not give you, I'll give you only 2 months. I told that person, he was telling me, sir, we go by the rule book वगैरह. मैंने उसको बोला, you recollect, gentlemen, 1 year back you had come to me to say, okay, we are sanctioning your loan of 50 crores. The sanction letter is going to come to you on 1st of April. But because I want to show my performance, the processing fee of 2% of 1 crore, you give me 1 day before. Your sanction will come later. Did I not adjust with you? So what are you trying to tell me? At that point of time, no rule book was applicable to you. तो आपको जो अच्छा लगा मुझे करना चाहिए और जब मुझे जरूरत लगती है तब आप मुझे रूल बुक दिखाते हो. I think the time has come to, with proper respect, to talk to these 5-6 institutions. We need to make a list, Pritam, Binita, we need to make a list. We need to make a letter. We need to go and talk to these people very frankly on 3-4 points. That is so. My third point is unity. Now, my next point is about the approval cost. Sir, we should have a few people coming together, going and meeting the chief engineer, the collector, the CFO, the city survey guy, and tell them very, very clearly. Everybody knows that there is a rate going on for everything. Okay, sir, ye nahi chalega. The other day when I took a video call with my people, I told them one simple thing. या तो तू एप्लीकेशन ऐसी बना जो अप्रूवल एज पर लॉ हो, या तो तू रिजेक्शन लाके दे, या तो उसको रिपेयर करके दे. और दूसरी बात, यू नीड टू बी सो एग्रेसिव कि साहब अगर ये काम नहीं हुआ तो मेरा सेठ मुझे नौकरी से निकालेगा, पर मैं नौकरी से निकलना नहीं चाहता हूं, मैं तेरी नौकरी निकाल दूंगा, तेरे को यहां से ट्रांसफर करा के छोड़ूंगा तेरे को. द पॉइंट इज दैट वी विल हैव टू बी aggressive, but at the same time cool with all this approval cost. I like the suggestion of Dominic the other day. He was saying, "Okay, Nayan bhai, let's go and talk to people." I think a time has come where we need to go and talk to people, and we need to take into confidence our architects, everybody together, and see to it that we control our approval cost. Then my next point was advisories to all our consultants. Today, our advocates, the kind of fee they charge, the councils, the kind of fee they charge, our chartered accountants, the kind of fee they charge. We need to make a list. We need to say to them very clearly, sir, for the next 1 year, 1.5 years, sir, this is what all I can afford. We know there are 15-20 councils in High Court. We know there are others also, structural consultants, whether architects, and we need to go and talk to them, because then what happens is, for an individual, when he sits before the council, he says कि तेरी brief में नहीं लूंगा, मैं दूसरा लेता हूं. जब सभी लोग वही बात करेंगे तो क्या होगा? The cost is bound to come up. So this is as far as the external part is concerned, that externally what we need to do. So unity, interest cost, goals of our association, approval cost, common language to all our customers is a very important thing. See, other day there is a statement of Nitin Gadkari, that builders should sell at cost. Somebody other suggested that 20% price we should reduce. What has happened is that because of this, the customer is thinking that, मेरे को तो ये जो फ्लैट 1 करोड़ में मिल रहा था, 50 लाख में मिल रहा था, अभी कल सुबह तो मुझे 40 लाख में मिलेगा. I think our campaign of real estate सही है, real estate बरोबर है, all that needs to come as soon as possible. And I sincerely request all our developer members to please contribute to this particular campaign that we want to take it. Everybody has realized that मेरा real estate है तो मैं safe हूँ. But how can we make it into a campaign that every person feels if he is not buying a house, he is missing something. So that is the common language to all our customers. Now this is the external part. Now what is it that we can do as far as our internal, our company is concerned? First point to me, and Vimal also dwelt on it, is number one, if you guys feel, if anybody feels that he is likely to be not in a position to survive in a proper manner, and if he feels like he should go ahead and declare himself a bankrupt or NPA, जितना लेट करोगे उतनी ज्यादा तकलीफ होगी आपको. I know of 2 developers who told me after I had said this about a week back also, that I have a SPV, and in that SPV we are sure that we are not going to make money. We are going to close down and wind up that company. We should not feel ashamed at all. As Vimal rightly said, don't hope on hope, and then ultimately kuch nahi rahega aapke paas. So be bold. If it comes to, we should do it. And I would, and I'm sure in our whatever working the chamber wants to do, we want to create a team that can assist people, on guiding them, that if they want to become, if they want to declare that enough is enough, my company and my project is not viable, we will help them also. So that is internally, this is my first request. Second, the way I have done in my company, what is the order I have followed in the short term? The first thing I have done is that I have decided about whatever, first is about motivation. I analyzed my company. I said which are the projects where I can get maximum unlocking. And the other day I made a 28-minute video and circulated to all my staff. First, I thought to myself that what am I going to do for the company? And showed confidence within myself. What your associates, what your channel partners, what your employees, what their family members want to know today, कि आपका boss, आपका जो कंपनी का मालिक है, वो किस तरह से सोच रहा है. अगर आपके मुंह में कॉन्फिडेंस रहेगा तो उसमें ऑटोमेटिक कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाएगी. So first is motivate them and keep them confident. The second thing that I have done is about what is the level of productivities and how will I become efficient. Because that cost saving तो एक बात है, पर जो काम मैं 4 घंटे में करता था अगर मैं 1 घंटे में करने लगा, because of my sloppy work, the next guy used to suffer a lot. So for example, जब architect एक good for construction drawing, when he releases, and when the mistake occurs at the site, the cost of that bad drawing is dramatic. So how do I improve my productivity? How do I improve my efficiency? After that, I will make a budget. That what is my budget? After that, I will make my cash flows. And after I have made my cash flows, then I will start thinking on my costs. कि मैं किस तरह से मेरे cost को control करूंगा. Because I have first established the productivity standards, the efficiency standards, the budgets होने से मेरी priority हो गई तो मेरा cash flow हो गया. Then I have been associated with the real estate trade body when I was 24 years of old. With BDPM, with Lalit Gandhi and Monga and Radni Bhai and Damji Shamji and others were there. I have closely seen people like Siraj Lokhandwala, GL Raheja working. No doubt they were the, मतलब कोई उसको छू नहीं सकता है. But if you see their working hours, at least 10 to 12 hours of working day in and day out. Everybody who has known GL will see his diary. He takes out that diary from the left-hand side rear pocket and writes down. Smallest of the smallest thing, you would know everything. Somebody was telling me that Siraj Bhai used to go to look at his plots at 4 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, and was working so hard to ensure that each and every commitment is made. The other day, I asked Niranjan bhai, कि सर क्या करते हो? बोले सुबह से लेके 7 बजे से लेके रात को 10 बजे तक मैं आज भी उतना ही काम करता हूं, भले लॉकडाउन है. You know, he gave me 2-3 priorities. You know, now is Jain College and everybody has become a cluster university. I'm working on that. I'm working on this. I'm working on this. I'm working on this. So much of enthusiasm. So much of, मतलब कभी भी वो थकते नहीं हैं. So we will have to talk, be very clear that we will have to work hard. Just now, somebody mentioned that Narayan Murthy has said that people will have to work at least 60 hours a week, which means 10 hours every day for the 6 days. This is what we'll have to start doing. And we will have to stay connected. See, SOP process to rahega, but for the next 3 months, 6 months, what is it that your colleagues want? Your colleagues want that you sit with them. कि सर मुझे ये तकलीफ है, मुझे ये तकलीफ है, वो आपको बताएगा नहीं, कि ये है, but he just wants to feel you, he just wants to see you, he just wants to be sure कि ये मैं जो कर रहा हूं ना वो बराबर है कि नहीं. So this is what I feel internally we need to do. Another thing that I told my approval team, that Right to Services Act is a very big act. आज we all, जो भी विमल अपना ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस कहां से खड़ा हुआ? अपना ईज ऑफ बिजनेस वहां से खड़ा हुआ कि जब हम 3-4 डेवलपर ने हमारे 3-4 प्रोजेक्ट का एक फ्लो चार्ट बनाया कि राइट फ्रॉम द डे आई अप्लाइड फॉर द फर्स्ट परमिशन अप टू बीसीसी, क्या स्टेप्स हुआ, कितनी बार मैंने पेमेंट की, कितना डुप्लीकेट हुआ, वही परमिशन को मैंने कितनी बार रिन्यू किया, हालांकि उसकी जरूरत नहीं थी, स्टाउंटर ड्रेन ये वो वगैरह वगैरह, वहां से हमारा ईओडीबी शुरू हुआ. सेम वे ओवर हियर, आपको कोई भी चीज में तकलीफ होती है ना, तो ये मत करो कि वो सिटी सर्वे ऑफिसर को जाके बोलूंगा सर अभी तुम इतना का इतना ले लो और मेरा काम करके दो. नो, डॉक्यूमेंटेड. जैसे हमने ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस शैलेश पुरानिक और हमारी टीम ने, मयूर भाई की टीम ने बनाया, तो आज कितनी सारी चीज अपनी आसान हो गई. ऐसे जो भी प्रॉब्लम आपको आता है ना, उसका आप लॉन्ग टर्म सॉल्यूशन निकालो, क्योंकि लॉन्ग टर्म सॉल्यूशन निकालोगे तो क्या होगा, आपका भी प्रॉब्लम आज सॉल्व हो गया, इसके बाद अगले 10 साल तक और भी कोई डेवलपर का प्रॉब्लम आएगा वो ऑटोमेटिकली परमानेंटली सॉल्व हो जाएगा. सो इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट वी टेक अ 2-step प्रोसेस. इन दिस नेक्स्ट 15-17 days वी नोट डाउन कि मेरे ये प्रोजेक्ट को मुझे IOD-CC, OC, BCC लानी है. इसे फॉर एग्जांपल मयूर भाई ने उस दिन सजेस्ट किया था कि भाई why can I not be allowed to work 24 hours? We should go and talk to the government. कि सर जितना इंटरनल काम है जहां आवाज नहीं होने वाला, you allow me to work 24 hours because with social distancing I will not be possible for my same workforce to work at the same time. आज काफी लोगों के पास अकोमोडेशन रिजर्वेशन है या PAP के वो है या PPL है कि ये काम हो गया तो ये CC मिलेगी. मैं कहता हूं we should go to the government and say sir इसको भी चलने दो, इसको भी चलने दो. Don't link these things together. You look at the completion date of the project overall. So this is the way we will have to think that, how do I ensure that the project of mine continues, and, I come out of the shackle with the commitment that both all my approval commitment that I have done, will be fulfilled. So this is as far as the internal things are concerned. And I think with this, I want to, create a group. We should have a group in our CRIDA MCHI which deals with interest, which deals with approval cost, which deals with day-to-day problems on the approval processes, which will talk to the united front of NAREDCO, VDA, CDWA, CRIDA National, and the 5th group will be, on real estate. So this is how I think we need to, come together, stay together, and see that we come out. I am very, 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 very confident that this period will last for maximum 18 to 24 months. And in the next 18 to 24 months, if we stay together, there is no doubt that we will come out of it. Each one of us will survive. Each one of us will grow. We need to really understand the problem kya hai. Abhi now, for one-time moratorium, we are pushing. Even if that account is NPA before, he should get one-time moratorium, because today that project was about to take off and he was about to come out of the woods, but this COVID has pushed him back. So, sir, you need to look at the viability of the project and not whether the technical term, whether he was NPA before or not. So, with this, whatever I had to say there, and over to Preetham.
Thank you, Nanbai. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. There are, so many points I've made in summation. But what I'd like to tell the members is that all of us are at home, and thereby we have time to reach out and be on such webinars. As we start coming out of the lockdown in the next few weeks, I will sincerely request everyone to be equally connected. And whenever the chamber sends you a request to send data or to send suggestions or to come on to webinars like this, please come with the same amount of enthusiasm that you've been coming up. To sum up the entire conversation, I'll just make...
Before that, Preetham, one thing. When the lockdown had occurred, Preetham, we had sent out a questionnaire about the drop in the sale collection, the drop in the booking. And that led to that original report of ours, because we had 102 responses, led to a lot of reliefs coming from RBI in the first. So here also, our chamber has sent out a survey form to everybody. I request that please fill up that survey form, because when you go to the government, they want data. Without data, they say emotional nahi chalega aapka. Aap mujhe data do. So I'll request TD Joseph, Harish Gupta to please immediately in the next 1 hour send a survey form to everybody. Harshul, I think you're also listening to me. Please ensure that survey form is sent to everybody. And then by tomorrow afternoon, because the third package of the finance minister, which is for real estate, is going to come out in the next 4 days. And before that, whatever data we can give to them, we want to share with them so that we are able to get the reliefs. Sorry, Preetham.
So just to summarize what Vimal said, he started by saying we should be very positive. We are the engine, so we have to pull the entire train. So we have to be always positive. To add to that, Nayanbhai said, whatever gives you peace of mind and clarity of thought, you please do that. The best thing he said was, we are our own and our only best opportunity to come back. तो हम अपने पास हमारे खुद के ही है, हमारे साथ कोई और नहीं है, ऐसे सोच के चलते हैं. Communicate to all stakeholders, सबके साथ बात कीजिए, employees, bankers, brokers, customers, ताकि सबको आपका मन का परिस्थिति मालूम पड़े. And Nayanbhai also covered that communicate the leader's thoughts so that everyone knows your company's position. Vision, short term, medium term, long term बोले. Action plan बस बनाओ short term and medium plan का. Don't make a action plan for something which is far away from us, which is a long term. There are going to be unknown and unseen uncertainties. मतलब जो दिखने वाले जैसे कोरोना वायरस जैसा नहीं दिखता है, वैसे there are going to be unknown and unseen uncertainties which are going to come, and most of it is going to come in the next 9 to 12 months, because everyone is in a lockdown situation right now. Everyone thinks that the problems are not as much, but as we go on, we'll know and we'll deal with all of them positively. But there are going to be a few more issues than we have thought about, which are going to be coming out. Thereby, we'll have to take tough decisions, and which we have not taken in the past. When whatever those tough decisions are, whether they are on cost, on revenue, on shutting down a project, on taking a JD partner, or going to a bank and saying that I require some help, whatever those tough decisions are, I think a lot of tough decisions, and we are used to taking tough decisions as promoters in real estate. We should take that. One of the most important things that Vimal Bhai pointed out, please don't poach. And someone in the chat beautifully said, कि और कोई इंडस्ट्री में सामने वाले का एनओसी के बिगर, एनओसी के बगैर कोचिंग नहीं करते. तो unless we have reconfirmed with our other developer कि भाई ये तुमको तकलीफ होने वाला ये आदमी को लेने से, तो मैं नहीं लेता हूँ ये आदमी को at least for the next 1 year, because अपने पास तकलीफें और बहुत है. ये और एक तकलीफ दूसरे वाले से एक आदमी लेके अपनी टेम्पररी तकलीफ वो अपने पास शायद टिकेगा भी 3-4 महीने के बाद, बट उसका परमानेंटली लॉस हो जाएगा. ये if we can keep that sensitivity and friendliness towards another developer and take an NOC and not a written NOC, but एक phone call करके पूछ लिया ठीक है, then it will be of help to all of us. another thing is that the chambers are representing a lot of things to the government, to the finance ministry, to RBI, to local government, to collector. So whenever we require some amount of data, like Nayan said, please be forthcoming and please give your suggestion as always. MCHI has led its entire war towards coming out of this situation with all the support of all our members. I please sincerely goad all of you to beat together and come back each and every time as positive as you have today. Thank you very much for coming on today on a Sunday. Thank you very much. All the best. Have a good day.